Shabbat Shalom, Mishpaka, YouTube. On the seventh day, I'll be making up tomorrow. Missed day, I'll be reading 2 chapters out of Jubilees. In the 35th Jubilee, in the 3rd week, in the 1st year thereof, Reu took himself a woman, and her name was Orah, daughter of son of Kesed. And she bore him a son, and he called his name Sarah. The 7th year of this week in this Jubilee, and the sons of Noach began to war on each other, to take captive and to slay each other, to shed the blood of men on the earth, and to eat blood, and to build strong cities, and walls, and towers, and individuals began to exalt themselves above the nation, and to be found beginning of kingdoms, to go to war, people against people, and nation against nation, city against city, and all began to do evil, and to acquire arms, and to teach each other, to teach their sons war. They began to capture cities, and to sell male and female slaves. And the son of Kesed, built the city of Arah of Kasdim, and called its name after his own name, the name of his father. And he made for them molten images, and they worshipped each the idol, the molten image, and they worshipped which they had made for themselves. And they began. Let me start over. And the prince, and the son of Kesed, built the city of Arah of the Kasdim, and called its name after his own name, the name of his father. And they made for themselves molten images, and they worshipped each idol, the molten image which they made for themselves, and began to make graven images, and unclean simulacra, and malignant Ruachoth assisted, and seduced them into committing transgressions and uncleanness. And the prince Mastema exerted himself to do all this, and he sent forth other Ruachoth, those which were put under his hand, to do all manner of wrong and sin. And all manner of transgression, to corrupt and destroy and shed blood upon the earth. For this reason he called the name of Serug, for everyone turned to do all manner of sin and transgression. And he grew up and dwelt in of Kasdim, near the father of his woman's mother, and he worshipped idols. And he took himself a woman in the 36th Jubilee, in the 5th week, in the 1st year thereof, and her name was Milcah, the daughter of Kabar, the daughter of his father's brother. And she bore him Nachor in the 1st year of this week, and he grew and dwelt in of the Kasdim, and his father taught him in the research of the Kasdim to divine and augur, and according to the signs of heaven. In the 37th Jubilee, in the 6th week, in the 1st year thereof, he took himself a woman, and her name was Lyska, daughter of Nistag of the Kasdim. She bore him Tirach in the 7th year of this week. And the prince of Mastema sent ravens and birds to devour the seeds which was sown in the land, in order to destroy the land, and to rob the children of their labors. Before they could plow the seed, the ravens picked it up from the surface of the ground. And for this reason he called its name Tirach, because the ravens and the birds reduced them to destitution and devoured their seed. And the years began to be barren, owing to the birds, and devoured all the fruit of the trees from the trees. And it was only with great effort that they could settle a little of all the fruit of the earth in their days. And this 39th Jubilee, in the 2nd week of the 1st year, Tirach took himself a woman, and her name was Edna, the daughter of Avram, the daughter of his father's sister. In the 7th year of this week she bore him a son, and he called his name Avram, in the name of the father of his mother. And he died, for his daughter had conceived a son. The child began to understand the errors of the earth, and all that went astray after graven images, and after uncleanness, and his father taught him writing, and he was 2 weeks of years old, and he separated himself from his father, that he might not worship idols with him. He began to pray to the Creator of all things, that he might save him from the errors of the children of men, and that his portion should not fall into error after uncleanness and vileness. And the seed time came for the sowing of seed upon the land. They all went forth together to protect their seed against the ravens, and Avram sent forth with those that went. And the child was a lad of 14 years, and a cloud of ravens came to devour the seed. And Avram ran to meet them before they settled on the ground, and cried to them before they settled on the ground to devour the seed, and said, Descend not, return to the place where ye came. And they proceeded and turned back. He caused the clouds of ravens to turn back that day 70 times, and of all ravens throughout all the land where Avram was there, settled there not so much as one. And all who were out there with him throughout all the land saw him cry out. And all the ravens turned back, and his name became great in the land of Kasdim. And there came to him this year all those that wished to sow, and went with him until the time of sowing ceased. They sowed their land, and that year they brought enough grain home and ate, and were satisfied. In the first year of the 5th week, Avram taught those who made implements for oxen and artisans in wood, and they made a vessel above the ground, facing the frame of the plow, or to put the seed thereon. And the seed fell down therefrom upon the share of the plow, and was hidden in the earth. They no longer feared the ravens. And after this manner they made themselves vessels above the ground, and on all the frames of the plows. And they sowed and tilled all the land according as Avram has commanded them. They no longer feared the birds. Chapter 12. And it came to pass in the 6th week, in the 7th year thereof, that Avram said to Terah his father, saying, Father. And he said, Behold, here I am, my son. And he said, What help, what profit have we from those idols which you worship, and bend, and you do bow yourself? There is no rock in them, for they are dumb forms, and a misleading of the heart. Worship them not. Worship the Alahym of heaven, who worships the rain, who causes the dew and the rain to descend on the earth, and does everything upon the earth. He has created everything by his word, and all life is from before his face. Why do you worship things that have no rock in them? For they are the works of men's hands, and on your shoulders do you bear them, and you have no help from them. But they are great. They are a great cause of shame to those who make them, and a misleading of the heart to those who worship them. Worship them not. And his father said unto him, I also know it, my son, but what shall I do with the people who have made me to serve before them? And if I tell them the truth, they will slay me, for their souls cleave to them and worship them and honor them. Keep silent, my son, lest they slay you. And these words he spoke to his 2 brothers, and they were angry with him, and he kept silent. In the 40th Jubilee, in the 2nd week, in the 7th year thereof, Avram took himself a woman, and her name was Sarai, the daughter of her father, and she became his woman. And Haran his brother took himself a woman in the 3rd year of the 3rd week, and she bore him a son in the 7th year of this week, and called his name Lot. And Nachor his brother took to himself a woman in the 6th year of the life of Avram, that is the 4th week, in the 4th year thereof. Avram arose by night, and burned the house of the idols. He burned all that was in the house, and no man knew it. And they arose in the night, and sought to save their Elohim from the midst of the fire. And Haran hastened to save them, but the fire flamed over them, and he was burnt in the fire. And he died in Ur of the Kasdim before Terach, his father, and they buried him in Ur of the Kasdim. And Terach went forth from Ur of the Kasdim, and he and his sons, to go into the land of Lebanon, to the land of Canaan. And he dwelt in the land of Haran, and Avram dwelt with Terach his father in Haran 2 weeks of years. In the 6th week, in the 5th year thereof, Avram set up throughout the night on the new moon, in the 7th month, to observe the stars from evening to morning, in order to see what would be the character of the year with regard to the rains. And he was alone, as he sat and observed. And a word came into his heart, and he said, All the signs of the stars and the signs of the moon and of the sun are all in the hands of Yahuah. Why do I search them out? If he desires, he causes it to rain, morning and evening. And if he desires, he withholds it, and all things are in his hand. And he prayed that night and said, My Alahym, Yahuah, you alone are my Alahym, and in your dominion have I chosen. And you have created all things, and all things that are the work of your hands. Deliver me from the hands of evil reavels, who had dominion over the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from you, my Alahym. Let me establish me and my seed forever, that we may not go astray, henceforth and forevermore. And he said, Shall I return to the Kasdim, who seek my face, that I may return to them? Am I to remain here in this place? The right path before you prosper in the hands of your servant, that he may fulfill it, and that I may not walk in the deceitfulness of my heart, O Alahym. And he came to an end of speaking and praying, and behold, the word of Yahuah was sent to him through me, saying, Get up, get you up from your country, and from your mankind, and from your kindred, and from the house of your father, into a land which I show you. And I shall make you a great and numerous nation, and I will bless you, and I will make your name great, and you shall be blessed in the earth, and in you shall all families of the earth be blessed. And I will bless them that bless you, and curse them that curse you. And I will be an Alahym to you and your son, and your son's son, and to all your seeds, to all your seed. Fear not from henceforth into all generations of the earth, for I am your Alahym. And Yahuah Alahym said, Open his mouth and his ears, that he may hear and speak with his mouth, with the language which has been revealed. For it is ceased from the mouths of all the children of men from the day of overthrow of Babel. And I opened his mouth and his ears and his lips, and I began to speak with him in the Ivrit tongue, in the tongue of creation. And he took the Cepherim of his fathers, and these were written in Ivrit, and he transcribed them, and he began from henceforth to study them, and he made known to them that which he could not understand, and he studied them during the 6 rainy months. And it came to pass in the 7th year of the 6th week that he spoke, and his father. They spoke to his father and informed him that he would leave. And it came to pass in the 7th year of the 6th week they spoke to his father and informed him that he would leave Haran and go into the land of Canaan to see it and return to him. And Terach his father said unto him, Go in peace. May the eternal Alahym make you pass straight, and Yahuah be with you and protect you from all evil, and grant unto you grace, mercy, and favor before those who see you. May none of the children of men have power over you to harm you. Go in peace. And if you see a land pleasant to your eyes to dwell in, then arise and take me to you, and take Lot with you, the son of Haran, your brother as your own son. Yahuah be with you, and Nachor your brother. Leave with me until you return in peace, and we will go with you all together.